Hey people, welcome to the channel. This is going to be 3 points just to be prepared in case you need to evacuate like you see so many doing right now with the LA fires. Number 1, be prepared to leave. This means admit there's a possibility of that ever happening. This is one of the things I struggle with the most with so many folks, that they think, no, I'm already in a good place. This will never happen to me. This, that does not matter. You need to understand that bugging out is not optional. You do that when you don't have a choice. Number 2, have an actual plan. Where are you going? Do you have family? Do you have friends, loved ones, neighbors, someone in your community, someone you talked about, someone which you have a mutual agreement of, hey, if something happens in your place, you can come to mine. These are things you need to have in place already ahead of the time in which it's actually needed. Even if it's simply having a motel or a camping location and the gear ready to go camping to some place, or taking a trailer or some motorhome or something that you have, so as to be there for a while until things get sorted out. Number 3, of course, have the necessary gear. This is going to be a bug out bag. There's going to be some other equipment, but keep it simple. You don't need a mountain of stuff when you're evacuating. If you have the time, carry everything you can. But usually when you have just a few minutes or maybe just a few seconds, you need to have all of this sorted out already. And the way you go about this is very simple. You have a small bag, which is your VIP bag, your very important papers and documents bag. That's where you have your important documents, your passports, your papers, your USB drive with important financial information, anything that is critical not to be lost, maybe some family heirloom, probably a little bit of emergency cash, maybe some precious metals, but something that is compact and carryable, you will have it in that bag. Maybe you have a flashlight, maybe you have something to defend yourself, but that's what you take. Then you have your actual bug out bag. Here's where you'll have a set of clothes to change into in case you need it. Maybe you have a little bit of water, some first aid kit, something else, but it should not really be all that much bigger than this. You will have some alternative means of communication in case phones are down. I recommend having a couple simple radio handsets. You can go with something more complex, but try to keep it simple. Then make sure you're able to breathe. This is critical. And no, it's not going to be a surgical mask. No, it's none of that nonsense. You need an actual mask that stops not only particles, but also filters away fog and things that are contaminating the air. This, keep in mind, there's going to be burning plastic. All of this is highly toxic and may incapacitate you very fast. Now, it's not going to solve the problem of lack of oxygen if there's intense fire, but for particles and for those fogs that are toxic and all of those things you just don't want to breathe in, get a proper respirator, not a little mask, a proper respirator, NBC respirator, nuclear, biological, and chemical respirator, something like this, or equivalent. I'll leave links there below from Amazon in case you want to grab something, and have some tools in case you need to open your way, bring down a door or something that is obstructing your exit if it ends up happening, okay? These are things that you need to think of ahead of time. Having a saw, having a pry bar, having an axe, tools at your disposal, and you will pick whatever you need depending on the situation, right? And as a bonus point here, keep in mind that you want to do a lot in terms of fire prevention around your house. Remove all of the bush, all of the dry leaves, keep things very clean. Think about what will start a fire. It's usually going to start because of some lighter fabrics or something that's easily combustible, and then it ignites something bigger. That's usually how these things happen. So keep things clean, especially around the perimeter of the house. Make sure you have as few things that can catch fire as possible. Clean all of that up if you can. And finally, of course, you have the channel with a ton of information. You have my books, Surviving the Economic Collapse, Street Survival Skills, and specifically for this topic right here, Bugging Out and Relocating, which I did a ton of research on this specific topic, and you have it there. See you next time. Take care.